Joining me today is Tia McDonald, and with her assistance, we're going to be demonstrating quite a few USB microphones while using this right here. This is Logitech for Creators Mevo Start System. Now, while you'll hear the differences of all these microphones so that you can see which one may be best for your usage, you'll also see the Mevo Start System in action while Tia tells us about her career as a beauty pageant queen, magazine cover girl, and how it changed her life. So Tia, how has it changed your life?
Tremendously. I've traveled all over the world to over 36 countries, so it's been very exciting.
So you're gonna have to stay tuned to hear more about the microphones and a lot about Tia, and that starts right now on the Gadget Guru. Okay, before we get started, let me tell you some of the limitations that we're dealing with in working with the Mevo Start System. Let me just tell you the two microphones we're using right now. I'm using the Saramonic USB lavalier microphone. Now this is an omnidirectional microphone. It's a $30 microphone, in fact $29. Tia, which microphone are you wearing?
So I'm wearing the Sennheiser XS lavalier. It's $60 and it comes with a bunch of accessories.
And I tell you, they're both top microphones. Now let me tell you when I'm talking about limitations. Right now on the Mevo app, and I'm doing a screen record here, so I'll pop that right up on screen, that both our microphones are on and we're using the USB setting on here. Now, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. If you saw a previous video, we used the 3.5 millimeter TRS input to do wireless microphones. Now we're using the USB microphones. In a perfect world, these wired microphones should sound better, but here I have both Tia's mic and my mic on at the same time. Here's what happens when I turn her mic off and only one mic is going in. Now we've tried changing this with settings and levels and the whole bit. And it's the same thing that we found out with the internal, or using the 3.5 millimeter input on a previous video. If you haven't seen that one, I'll put a link right up there. That if you have both inputs on at the same time, then it kind of degrades the sound. Now, I'm going to turn us both on now. Tia, your mic is now hot. You did some playbacks. Did you notice a difference?
Huge difference, yeah. I mean, it was in and out. I mean, how do you guys think it sounds now?
Well, hopefully it sounds better. Now we're going to get into Tia in a moment. We're going to change sets real quick. Again, I'm on the Saramonic USB Lav Mic. Now judge it this way when Tia's mic is up, because if you're looking for a USB mic to connect to your computer, this is what it would sound like. And Tia, give them one more sound sample of what your mic sounds like.
Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, 1, 2, 3.
Both microphones are on right now, a limitation of the Mevo Start System. Now when we come back, 2 more microphones and we're stepping up our game, so stay tuned. With every problem comes a solution. Now, as we noticed before, one of the bugs, and I'll call it a bug, maybe it's my system, but this is what I've experienced, whether I was using the 3.5 millimeter wireless or these USB microphones, that on the Mevo multicam app on the iPad or iPhone, if you have 2 audio sources open, the microphones, they just kind of diminish in quality. That's why we had to show it to you, like in a conversation, we had to turn one mic off and one mic on so that you could hear what these mics sound like in case you're going to use it for a system other than Mevo. Now, here's the solution we found, or one of them. This is the Saramonic LavMicro, and while this is available in a single mic configuration, you notice Tia and I are both wearing the mics. This goes into a Y adapter. You can see on screen of how that works, and it plugs right into the USB port, in this case on the Mevo Start camera. Now what's good, we only have one mic level to control here. Both our mics are on. They're going to sound the same, and it really is a good solution. It's $160 for the double. One last point about this before we move on to finally talk about you, is that you're going to see a few Saramonic products here, although we have a wide variety of manufacturers represented here. Nobody's paying for anything. I own all the products, or I purchase all the products that you're going to see here. However, Saramonic is giving Gadget Guru subscribers 10% off any product that they have on their website, plus free shipping. Just go to Saramonicusa.com and hit Guru 10. Now let's talk about your beauty pageant career. You've been doing this a long time. How old were you when you got started?
I was probably about 5 years old. I saw an ad in a magazine. I begged my mom to do it. I ended up taking last place in it, but you know, it gave me some fire to get started, and you know,
Now, was that the America's Darling? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I noticed here's a name that we'll be familiar with, Tropic Beauty. What was that?
Yes. It was a lot of fun. I mean, we pretty much traveled all around the world. I mean, I got to film bikini destinations in Tahiti and so many different races, so many different events. So
Now, was that sponsored by Hawaiian Tropic?
basically, so Ron Rice started Hawaiian Tropic, and then he sold Hawaiian Tropic, and then Tropic Beauty was created.
I got you. Okay, now let's go from there. Here's another Hawaiian or Tropic Beauty. Now, I guess this was a big one for you. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so it took me about 5 years to win Miss Florida, and from the day that I won, it basically jet-started me off into a wild year of probably hundreds of events.
Okay, did you bring your crown with you?
I just so happened to have it in my car.
Okay,
yes.
Can you put it on for us? Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that is just so cool. Now, do you wear this around town?
You know, to the grocery store, you know, car wash, pretty much, yeah, everywhere.
To the grocery
Guess
store,
it.
the car wash. Now, what's Miss United States?
So Miss United States, I got to go to China to represent our country.
Wow.
And I was there for 2 weeks, made top 5. So that was quite an adventure.
Wow, this really has taken you around the world. Now, let's see what else we have here. Okay, this is just another very nice picture. I guess, is that you accepting the honor?
Basically, yep, that was while I was competing at Miss, at Worlds, basically. So, yeah.
Okay, now, what is this right here?
That was our costume portion, so we got to have a lot of fun with that. And I mean, I love costumes, I love glitz and glamour, so.
Okay, well, when we come back to our next segment with the 2 more USB microphones, you can take the crown off unless you want to wear it. By the way, is it a crown or a tiara?
This is a tiara because it doesn't have prongs in it, so.
So a crown has prongs.
Yes, but queens wear crowns, so technically it could be considered a crown.
Okay, well, you'll always be my little thing. Okay, stay tuned. We're back with 2 more USB microphones. Okay, we're back. We have 2 different microphones. And again, I'm having to monitor this to where only 1 microphone can be on at a time, because here's what happens if 2 microphones are on. It just doesn't sound that good. And the purpose of this is for you to hear each microphone independently. The odds are you're not going to be using this with the Mevo Start System. You could be using this for podcasting or on your computer for Zoom calls or whatever. So let's go in and get started. Tia, which microphone are you using?
So here we have the blue Snowball. It comes in white, black, or aluminum. Personally, I love the look of it. I think it looks really cool. And it's only $50.
I tell you, it does have a very cool look in it. Now, mine is completely different. This is a hand mic. This is the only hand mic that we're showing in this demonstration. It's from Saramonic. Yep, another Saramonic product. It's the MV7. It's a $120 hand mic. And this is good because this is a very directional sound. You hear what happens when I get off the mic. So if you're using this at a sporting event or for an interview, it's just a good mic to use. We're going to go and jump ahead to the next 2 microphones, and we're going to talk about your magazine career, which is quite exciting. So stay tuned. Okay, we're back with 2 more USB microphones, and as you can see, we're getting serious with these models. Now, before we do, we just took a break and we listened to the previous 2 microphones. I had the Saramonic hand mic, you had the blue microphone. What was your opinion of those 2?
So personally, I thought yours was a lot more clear and rich sounding versus mine was a little bit more on the echoey side.
I agree with your take. I just wanted to show you, here's what happens when both our mics are on. Let me turn Tia's mic off for a moment and you'll hear the difference. I want you to judge these mics of what they sound like on a standalone basis. I don't know what the problem with the Mevo Start System is. Whenever we put 2 microphones in, we've had these problems. Let me go in and tell you about mine. I had the Amazon Basics Professional USB condenser microphone. I bought this one during the pandemic to use for Zoom calls and for online meetings. And let me tell you something. This thing has a lot of bang for the buck. It's $131, still available today. It's an all-metal construction. It includes the base. What I like, it has multiple pickup patterns so that whether you're using it with 1 person or 2 or more people, this can be a solution. Has a headphone jack, and all the controls here are on the front. Tia, we're now going to switch over to your mic. What do you have over there?
So here I have the blue Yeti. It has multiple pickup patterns and all controls on the front and the rear.
Okay, now we just showed you, you got to hear them with both microphones just on, by themselves. We're both on. So if you hear the sound quality drop, don't blame the mics. That's just the way they come through their system. Now, one thing I noticed about your microphone, and this is odd, because this microphone is on the approved list to be used with the Mevo Start System. It's, the Blue Yeti, which is a Logitech product. So is the Mevo Start System, so you would think they would work. The problem is, on the gain control, if you look at the screen right here, I have you all the way down. Look, you're picking me up all the way over here, and on the gain, it does have gain on the back, and that's kind of weird. You have some controls on the back and some on the front. We have it all the way down as low as it will go. So the compatibility, while this might sound good on computer, I'm not recommending it for the Mevo Start System. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the fun stuff now. I don't think for a young model it gets any bigger than being on the cover of Playboy. What led up to that?
It was really very random. I mean, I shot this in Santorini 3 years prior, one of my favorite places, favorite photographer, Joey Wright. And, they basically asked for my permission like years after it. So it was really a dream come true and just the most insane shock ever. Now,
again, at this point, you weren't a centerfold, you were a swimsuit model? Is this a swimsuit edition?
No, yes. So it was not nude. Basically, it was just shot on the beach in a swimsuit over a 5-day course.
Once your images appeared in Playboy, how did your life change?
It definitely changed in a huge type of way. I mean, I had always dreamed of it since I was a little girl. I mean, I always looked at the women on the cover of Playboy as, just so empowering and just strong. And it was really just one of those pivotal moments for me. Okay,
let's go ahead and jump past Playboy. Here's another major magazine, the cover of Maxim. I assume, did that come after Playboy?
Yes, it did come after. It was actually a few years after. It was shot in Bali. It was actually a pretty big mess of a shoot, if you ask me.
Now tell me what you mean by a mess of a shoot.
So I was in Bali, so my hair dryer completely blew out. A few weeks before that, I got a haircut in which I went from long hair and she completely butchered it to my shoulders. So I ended up having to jump in a pool right before the shoot to do the whole wet hair look. So it worked out, but I mean, we also only had a half day to shoot it. So normally a spread like that, I mean, it was 8 pages, would normally take a few days, and really I just had a few hours.
Okay, now what's this birdcage shot? I looked at that, I said, I can't figure this one out.
Yeah, so that was actually from another feature with Maxim. That part was actually shot in Santorini, and they basically just, I don't really know what that shot was about. It was pretty much just a creative process type of thing.
Okay, what's some of the other shots? Were more fun for me. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back, we're going to listen to what we just recorded, we're going to get your opinions, we're going to listen through headphones, and then we have 2 more mics. And let me tell you, as we step up, you're about to hear some things that are very cool, so stay tuned. We're back, we have 2 more microphones. In fact, these are the final 2 microphones. We're both wearing headphones, and let me tell you why. On the previous mics, they did have headphones. In fact, even the Saramonic hand mic had them. But because of the way we're using it, it didn't make sense to do it. The reason we're in headphones now, it's a good way to hear our levels without latency. Latency meaning the echo. If we were to just plug in directly in the iPad, there would be a delay. As you know, it's difficult to talk that way. Before we tell you about these mics, let's talk about the previous 2 mics. We just went back and listened to the previous segment. Tia, what's your opinion?
Well, before we get to that, by the way, I really, really love these headphones. What brand are they?
Oh, this is the Rode. In fact, I have the box over here. I like these. As you can see, I purchased 2 of them. This is the NT-H100. It's a $150 headset. Again, nobody's paying for anything on here. All these products are products I purchased. What I like for monitoring audio, whether we're doing for something like this or connected to a computer, they're comfortable. They block out the outside noise well, and I have to show you this. On the inside, it's marked right or left, L and R. On a lot of headphones, you got to look around which side is which. I like that. Anyway, what did you think of the previous 2 mics?
I really like them. I mean,
you lean into the mic a little bit closer.
Okay. So I really like them. I mean, mine, of course, was on the lowest settings, so the fact that you didn't really have control of that, it was a little bit different, I guess, or just not having as much control. But yeah, I thought they were decent.
I think in terms of richness or full-bodied, so far the Saramonic handheld mic is the one that sounded the best for use with this system. Now, I think either one of those other two, the Amazon mic and the Blue Yeti, the big silver one, connected to a computer, they sound good. They just don't play well. And I think, as I said before, because Blue Yeti is a Logitech company and so is Mevo, I just found that kind of strange. Anyway, let's go on and jump forward. I'm on the Shure MV7. Oops. Sorry, I kicked my cable here. I wasn't kicking you. At least I was hoping I'm not. Now, this one is similar in style to the legendary SM7B. I mean, you would think I'm Joe Rogan here. Now, it's all metal construction. What's good about, other than just USB, it has XLR outputs as well, so you can use these with higher-end equipment. It allows for both digital and analog recording. This is the most expensive microphone that we're showing today. It's $250, but with all the features it has, it's worth it. Now, wearing headsets on something like this and getting in close, this mic is designed for being up close. You know, as soon as I move away, you know, go off axis, you really have to get in almost like you're kissing the mic. So now it's your turn. Why don't you kiss the Rode?
Yeah, so I have the Rode NT USB Plus, tight cardio pull.
She's reading all that. It's a tight cardio, I can't say it now, a tight cardioid polar pattern. Who comes up with these names?
Yes. And it's got a built-in preamp, headphone output for no latency monitoring. The pop filter is detachable, and it's got USB-C connectivity.
And the reason we say, I wanted to point that out, not all of these are USB on this side. Granted, USB-C, some of them are USB-C, USB micro, USB mini. I'm just glad you're starting to see the newer mics, such as this one from Rode, jumping over to the USB-C standard. There's fewer cables to have around. How much does yours sell for?
Mine is $169.
Okay, now let's jump into the ring. You've had quite a career in the boxing ring, too. Why don't you tell me about that without punching me?
Oh, yeah. So I got to travel around the United States with Takati. That was really fun. It started in LA, and then I actually got to do a bunch of fights in Vegas, some of the biggest fights, or actually the biggest fights in the world. And, you know, it was on ESPN, so I would have family members that would call me and say, you know, oh, you're on ESPN. So that was really cool.
I mean, a lot of people probably think that, oh, that's easy work. There's a lot of moving parts when you're doing that. You have to be on cue. You got to jump in. What's it like? I mean, jump in the ring with fighters and sweaty people and all sorts of things going on and people hollering.
Oh, yeah. You're in 6-inch heels having to climb the stairs as quick as possible. I mean, you're on live TV. So every single second really does count. And yeah, I mean, the audiences are insane. I mean, the Pacquiao fight in Vegas, you know, I think it was the highest viewed fight, you know, I think of all time.
And you were there in the ring.
It's wrong, though, because I've done a lot of fights, so I can't remember the highest view, but it was really cool.
So you, not only in the ring, you got to watch the fights ringside.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's just very cool. That's the best seat in the house.
Oh, for sure. And that's what, I mean, I really actually love boxing. So.
And remember, get closer to your mic.
Yeah, so I really love boxing, so that was probably my favorite part about it.
And see, that's one thing. You remember, we're here to talk about mics. Talking to Tia is just a bonus. On both of these mics, you really do need to get in. These are more podcaster-style mics. Okay. Now, let's go on and just sum this up. You've also, you know, I guess in between your careers and even up to now, a lot of modeling, spokesmodeling. I'm just going to go through some pictures. Why don't you tell us about some of these? What is this up here?
So that was actually a shoot in Mexico. And then also, I mean, I've been featured in all kinds of different things. I mean, Sports Illustrated.
Okay, now, by the way, this isn't Sports Illustrated here, is it?
No.
Okay, but this one is.
Yes, most definitely. That was Sports Illustrated.
Now, was that a swimsuit or a model edition, or what was that?
They basically featured me as model of the day.
Oh, I like that.
So they featured a bunch of different photos that was shot in Miami. So.
Okay, and now, Now, what's this? What's with the hat? Were you cold?
Yes, I was in London. That was actually right in front of Buckingham Palace. I actually got to live in London for 3 months, so that was cool. Lived in Ibiza for 3 months. Lived in Australia, if you want to call it living. I mean, it was only 3 months. I was in Australia for 6 months.
And this one is where?
That was in the Bahamas. Yep. And then I was also featured on, different billboards as well.
I got to tell you, I love this shot because here you are pointing up to you on the billboard. Was that fun? I mean, when you see yourself,
It was crazy. I mean, I had just moved to LA, and it was probably the first 2 weeks that I was living in LA that Sports Unlimited, yes. Hold on, what was that?
It says
Supermodels
SU,
Unlimited.
so Sports
Yes.
Unlimited.
I just saw the SU and I'm like, I've done so many things that I honestly forget a lot of the stuff that I do, unfortunately. But yeah, that was for Supermodels Unlimited. So,
okay. Yeah. I got to tell you, you just had a wonderful career. We're not finished yet. Now we're going to go through, listen to this, and get your opinion. So I have to tell you, again, you're a pleasure. Don't go away because we have more. And I'm going to tell you what's coming up next. You're not going to believe it. We'll be right back. Okay, I made a mistake. I know I said that those were the last 2 mics. I do have one more, and you're going to like it because it's a wireless USB-C mic. But before we do that, Tia, we just went back and listened to the playback through headphones of the last 2 mics. What was your opinion?
I love them. I mean, I thought that they were a lot better than the other ones. They are a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, you get what you pay for. You did have to lean in a little bit more with them, but at the end of the day, I thought they were great.
Did using headphones help, tell you how far or how close you needed to be?
Oh, for sure. I loved having the headphones on, just being able to hear back everything. I mean, overall, I love those headphones.
And it made us like we were on the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah.
Now, again, I like them both. I like Rode products. I've had a problem with my wireless Rode Wireless Go products, but I guess they're just getting a little bit long in the tooth. But these, I like the quality of both. One thing I like about the Shure, and I can unplug that one now, that not only is it USB, it has an XLR input or output so that you can use it with other equipment down the road. Now, I need to tell you about this mic. This is the Saramonic, let me read it off my notes here. The Saramonic Blink 500 ProX. It has 2 models, a B5 and a B6, the difference being a single transmitter or dual transmitter. What I like about this, it's easy. Now, it has a charging case, 1 cable, you charge everything. It has long to hold times. It's a new and improved version of a form factor they've had out for a while that gives you longer range. I think it's a pretty good sound quality. Remember, we're in a room with a lot of echoes here, and it's just very easy to use. It also includes lavalier mics in case you want to hide these. We just clipped them on because they're simple to use. It's $320 for the double or $229 for a single. Okay, I'm going to jump in there for a minute. We just went back and listened to the video recording. And I'll tell you what, you sounded great. I didn't sound that good, and I'll tell you why. I have your level set to 3 of 6 on here. Mine was set to 2 of 6, and I had the mic down here. That wasn't right. I give every microphone I ever use or test or provide an opinion, I want to give them a fair shake. So we didn't do it. Now you hear what this sounds like when it's in a proper position. Tia, what do you think? We've had a long day. I made a mistake. Are you mad at me?
I think we're sounding good. So as long as it sounds good, all we can do is give the best review that we can.
Well, I appreciate that you took your time out of your busy day to come join me on this. Do you think you'll do a future video with me?
Of course, please, anytime.
Well, let me tell you what I have coming up. And let me tell you, I got behind in my videos because I thought that using the Mevo Start System for 2 weeks would give me enough experience using it indoors, outdoors. I took it to the Bahamas. I used it wirelessly. I thought it would give me an opportunity to really get to know the system, and it didn't. I had to take about 3 times the amount of time I would normally spend. I try to do thorough reviews before I give opinions, but with the next video that comes out, might get one in more before it, but within a week or so of this one being posted, I'm going to have my final review of the Mevo Start System. I think it's must-see TV if you are shopping for this type of system. Now, here's what's coming up here. This is cool. I used to be an OWL cam user, which was a wireless dash cam. I say wireless, it plugs into your OBD port in your car, but allows you to, if somebody breaks into your car or does something, you have a valet incident, you get a notification, you can view it on your phone. If somebody breaks in and steals the camera, you have the footage. Then I have this product right here. Remember I told you I was rebuilding my studio?
Yes.
This is the Roland here. I'll put it up to this camera right here. This is the Roland V02 HD Mark II. Where do they come up with these names? This is the streaming switcher. This had one very unique feature that when I get to it, I'll demo, but this is the one I've been waiting for. This is the YOLO Box Pro. Do you see this? I'm going to give you an opinion before I've even opened it up. In my life, you have two types of products, wired and wireless. When putting them side by side, wired always wins. So I say always 99%, because there's less to go wrong. And while this can be used for wireless streaming using cellular, by you pop in a SIM card or Wi-Fi, or it can be wired with Ethernet. The cameras are wired and not wireless. You're not going to experience some of the dropouts we had trying to put this together. This is coming soon. I'm going to spend some time with that before performing a review.
Love it.
We've put up your Instagram address throughout the video. You have 100 and some odd thousand followers. Could you use a few more?
Heck yeah, I'll take whatever I can get.
Okay, folks, she's always
Why
posting
not?
great pictures from all her adventures. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I can't think anything else other than thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, it's my pleasure. That's it for now. I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr.